Yo! I'm so hyped. So hyped that my green screen's not working. It's game week for me. Oh, that was some loud music. That's right. I am playing a new game every day this week. We've got Stanley Parable today. Bug Snacks tomorrow. And Nintendo Switch Sports on Friday. So pumped. So pumped. Alrighty, well. I guess, time to start. I look really weirdly purple. But when I, like, move my hand. That's weird. Hold on. Whoa, what? What is happening right now? No, and I broke everything by messing with the filter. Be easier with the chroma key turned on. Some sweet music, though. I guess I had that on, so... It wasn't as dark. Well, that's as good as it's gonna get right there. Alrighty. We'll turn all the tunes off and let's dive into the game. I have never played the Stanley Parable before. This is my first time ever playing this game. I have heard it's funny, and that's about all I know. The trailer made it look kind of creepy. And the tag on Twitch says that it is horror. So this could be a very exciting evening. We'll have subtitles. Have you played the Stanley Parable before? Nope. Hope the audio on the game is loud enough. Please adjust until the computer is barely visible. What do you guys think? That's this. We'll go there. I don't want to be too dark. What time is it? Wait, do I have to go up till I get to... Okay. 8:17 p.m. The game is in the game. I can... What? All right. Well, I guess we'll just get started. Never, the end is never, the end is never, the end is loading.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Let me know if
Stanley
that's too
worked
loud,
for a
chat.
company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
What? Hitting the A button makes clicking noises, but...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I don't know.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
What? I wish I could see this stuff. Is there like a way to zoom in? I'm like hitting all the buttons to make sure I'm not missing any. It's kind of creepy. Wooloo. Hola, Spider-Max. Have you played this before, Max? Welcome to chat, by the way. It's kind of creepy. Empty offices are so creepy. 425. Hello?
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
All right, narrator. He's so sarcastic. Hey, wait. Okay. I thought I'd block myself. How much was this? This is 25 on Switch right now. I bought a Nintendo gift card. The $50 gift card was $45 on Amazon, right? For I don't know if that deal's still going.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
What happens if I don't, though? I'm gonna disobey it.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
What? This place is so creepy, man.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in. Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
The narrator's like, what are you doing, man? This wasn't where you were supposed to go.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Wow. Harsh.
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue. But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
But what if I pass the open door on my left? This is my problem. I just don't want to follow the story path.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
If you're lying right now, stop. What? This place it's just so creepy. Everything, like an empty office.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside, to let her back into your life.
What?
She's been waiting.
What is happening right now? Okay. Let's go here. There's like all these locked doors. I don't know where to go.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
What? I don't really have much of an option here, do I?
As Stanley picked up the phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope. Hope for a life reunited one... Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone?
I did, yeah, I
No,
unplugged
that
it.
wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken.
What is
This is why
happening?
you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation?
I don't-
Well, won't
no,
have
I
that
don't
kind
know
of
what's
risk on
happening.
my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world.
No.
Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Oh no!
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people. Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
What? I'm supposed to practice that.
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process.
What?
Most medical professionals
What am I looking
recommend
at?
making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant.
Wow.
And the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Okay.
Ah, welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
What? So we've broke the game. Huh. So I just go backwards?
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
But I want to go that way. Huh. Okay, well, I don't have any choices. I'll find a way out of this, narrator. Don't you worry, narrator.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
What? Is there a way out of here? How do I get out of this? I don't want this narrator telling me what to do. Is this a Switch game? Zachary asks. Yes. Welcome to chat, by the way. This is brand new on
Now
Switch
remember,
today.
all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I mean, I'm not going to listen to this guy. I've already gone this far not listening.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Yeah, I got. Oh gosh, what is happening? everything's distorted and breaking. I don't know, part of me wonders if I just like wait in here, if something will happen. So weird. Looks like I have no choice. Yeah, doesn't let me go that way. All right.
Oh, it's ruined.
Ugh.
I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that?
I don't know.
What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to. I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You, who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground.
I'm sorry,
What,
narrator.
Did you think that would be funny?
No, I
Had
just...
to see?
I'm sorry.
Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it.
Oh, wow.
That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child.
Wow.
Oh, my story.
Wow, he is angry. He is
If you'd
insulting
just
me.
gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make... behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
What just happened?
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right.
Wait, am I stuck
When
now?
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task.
What?
Just follow my
I'm
lead
stuck in
and you'll
here
be
now.
fine.
I gotta
All
go.
right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Yay, thanks for the alert, Monkey Thunder. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, so far, this is, like, crazy. I don't know what's going on.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh, man. The beige pages. I'm really trying to figure out, like, I don't want to do what the narrator says because he seems untrustworthy. He admitted to me that this is all just a game.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Nightshark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown.
All right.
He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code. Stanley spoke the code. Nightshark.
I don't know how.
115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
I'm trying. I don't have that option.
I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
Oh, no.
Okay, fine, you're not gonna do it, but you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. You... When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything all right?
What just happened?
Stanley, this is important.
That's the end?
The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me?
I don't...
Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do.
I don't know what's happening right now.
As much time as you need.
So I beat the game. It's pretty fast. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay. I am going to go right again.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Try this.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Okay.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
I don't know. I haven't listened to you so far, so let's just keep that up, narrator. I think that's what we're going to do. There's all these doors with key cards. Like if I got a key card somewhere, I'd be able to do something.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
I refuse.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
I found the blue door.
Fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen?
Yes,
well,
I do.
Don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is
I
what
can't
you
wait to
wanted
play the
see.
regular story.
Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
I want to so bad. All right.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Aha! You see, I knew I was onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come from? How did I know the game needed a third door? Well, it's instinct mostly, a calling in your gut. I really couldn't say where the idea came from, except that
This is so great.
I felt it in my soul. You can't teach that, Stanley. Don't even try.
The narrators.
Here, based on the
So
data
good.
from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
What is happening? Well, can't go that way again.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
I'm gonna be honest here. That didn't do anything for me. I didn't feel motivated to go through doors.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
What?
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Wait, I can't let the baby die. What do I do? I can't sit here for 4 hours. All right, I'm sorry, baby. I just won't look.
You heartless bastard.
Oh, gosh.
Do you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here?
What is happening right now?
Yes. This seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
I don't know what's going on.
Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose.
What?
Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
Is this making fun of Firewatch? I haven't played that game, but this looks very Firewatch-like. I don't know what's going on. All right, well, I guess there's only one way to go. So let's go that way.
Oh, no. No, it can't be. It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off. Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls. Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
I don't know what's happening. We're just kind of going places now.
Wonderful.
Are we
See,
in
this is
Rocket
exactly
League?
What I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in.
What?
There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here.
We're
Now,
just straight
this
up it is Rocket
game
League.
design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
What is happening right now? How did
Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
I'm so slow. Yeah, let's go! I'm so good at Rocket League!
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Hold on. What are you doing?
Oh no. Well, I just wanted to see what was in there.
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back and say...
What have I done? I don't know where to go. I could fall off the edge. This is so creepy, guys. I don't like it. This game is so weird. What on earth? I can't tell if I'm going the right way or not. Ah, light. Sure. If there's a jump scare here, guys, I'm gonna lose it. What? This is the only way to go.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
I was gonna be like, I can't do anything. It's just a black screen. That was such a weird side adventure. That time I went to a Rocket League stadium. I was in Firewatch for a little bit.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
And we just run through.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
There's just like
The
so
lounge
many
was
places
sublime,
you could
a
go.
work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side.
We'll go through the red door this time.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And
No.
I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Okay. No choice here.
What do we want? What are we looking for?
What is happening?
Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
It's pretty in here. Oh, whoa, that's cool. It's a donut. I don't know, like, part of me wonders if, like, waiting in here will do something. Doesn't look like it.
No, wait. Where are you going? Right. Where were we?
Why is there a door?
Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
Lose all of what?
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
I have to jump off? That's the only way to go. I don't like that. I don't like that path. Let's go back out. Let's go back out to the happy lights.
Good, good. We can't be too safe. Promise me you won't go back there. Just stay here.
I don't know what to do, chat. I don't want to go jump off a cliff. But staying in this room's kind of boring. This weird flower in space. Looks like we gotta do it.
No. What do we talk about? You're risking everything we achieved here.
What? We've achieved nothing. What
You
do you...
heard me before, didn't you? You will die. What about this isn't getting through to you? No! Oh, thank God you lived. You had me worried there for a moment. No, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking
This
you
is
not
horrible.
to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
I don't understand why, but this is like the only thing I can do.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room.
This is so
Can you do
horrible.
that for me?
And I get like slower.
My God, is this really how much you dislike my game?
No.
That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You
No.
are literally willing to kill yourself to keep
No,
me from being
stop. Stop it,
in
narrator.
the situation.
There's nothing else I can do. You didn't give me any choices.
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out.
Oh
of it.
my gosh.
I don't
Please
know
just
anymore.
end.
I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask.
Oh my
It
goodness.
looks like you wanted to make a choice after all.
Yes, I did want to make a
Well,
choice.
This one is yours.
That's awful. This is I don't like this one. I don't like this path. I'm sad I went to the red door. This is what I get for listening to the narrator, all right?
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
That is awful. I did not like that. Did not like that. Okay. Are we back at the beginning, though?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room.
I
and
know.
Stanley knew it
I know,
perfectly well.
narrator. We're going to try a different
Perhaps
path.
he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nope.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do,
Well.
Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
This narrator, man. He's mean. He is not nice. This is...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the
This
meeting
is like
room.
a time
Perhaps he had
loop
simply
that I have
missed
to
a memo.
escape from.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge
Oh no,
first,
Zach.
just
Last time I
to
listened to the
admire
narrator, I had to jump off
Stanley felt lightheaded.
a platform
As
over and
far as
over
his
again until
stomach.
I died. That was
Eager
a
to get
horrible
back to
ending.
business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No, this time I'm gonna pick up the phone.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really.
Like, doesn't that look like a...
I realize that
a way
investing
out
your
there?
trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith
I
in
can't
another,
pick up the phone?
then pick up the phone.
Okay.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife?
Wow.
Who would commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
No.
Sorry, but you're in my story now.
Oh, well, this is how it's going to be, narrator? This is how it's going to be? I can't go this way anymore?
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Oh, no.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work.
This narrator,
One might even
he's
feel
turned
sorry for
evil.
him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown. Fantastic discoveries of
don't
new
know.
lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
What do I do? I have to push it.
So
Stuck in
he
this little
went
room.
further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions.
TM.
Down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Press X to tell your wife you love her.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed.
Oh my
The
gosh.
longer he spends here, the more invested he gets. The more he forgets which life is the real one.
What?
And I'm trying to tell him this. That in this world, he can never be anything but an observer. That as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
I'm listening to the narrator. Huh. Well, looks like we gotta push it.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
That was weird. That one was weird. I don't know. And it ended with "Please die."
How wonderful. Stanley was alone. Finally. This is great, he thought to himself.
Wait.
This is what I've wanted all along. I got what I wanted.
That's a different dialogue then. That's different dialogue than last time.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Alrighty. I've done almost everything you can do on the right, except
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was grand, majestic, perhaps too majestic. Like a combination of a much smaller version and a much larger version of this exact room. It all made Stanley uncomfortable, and he started to bleed a little. This made him smile. At last, proof that he was human.
what is happening right now? That is totally different dialogue.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit but eager to get back to business. Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I think I've done everything in the other room over here. So it's time to go left.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Yeah, right. Look at that. Look at that. There's an elevator. Definitely taking the elevator. See ya, narrator.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here, it's, left.
Okay. Alrighty.
Oh, no. No, it's to the right. My mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh, dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Huh. What is this? What is this?
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
That was it?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Or did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors?
Nope,
Did you move
I didn't.
the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Alrighty, we're going to the right, I guess?
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Aww. Just when I thought I was getting somewhere.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Huh.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
This is confusing.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no, I don't feel right about this at all.
Yeah,
we both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win.
It's true.
Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
What? Now there's a line to follow.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
This is a different way than normal.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office, in fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what?
It's just a big circle.
What we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, let's do it. Oh, we're going. We're cruising. I mean, the music does make this better. It's really loud, though. Turn that down a little bit. Da 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 dum da dum dum. This line. How long does it go? Is that a Payday 2 mask? That's hilarious. All the game references they've gotten here. I think I'm going the right way.
Wait, cut the music, go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Okay. Gotta remember that fern.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell? Oh, no, not again, Line. How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
What? It just took us back to that room.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Okay. Now we're just going in some random direction.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it. Oh, no, not you again. Stanley,
Like how
I'd also like to
the
veto
TM
line
was on
from
the
having
U.
any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
It's the only way I can go is to follow the line. Or not.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision.
All right.
From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
It didn't even give me the choice. I'm offended.
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it.
Good call, narrator.
And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? Whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
I wanted to know what I was supposed to do next.
Good morning. Thank you for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation. We are confirming your shipment of 1,327 cardboard boxes to your place of work. Can you verify that this is correct? Understood. Your order will be canceled immediately. Thank you again for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation.
Huh. There's no narrator now. New content? I think I gotta go through this door.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
All right.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers.
Wait. This is part of the new game then?
Critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in The Stanley Parable, Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content. Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
This game is so fun. I'm really enjoying it.
Is it broken?
Oh no.
What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if oh, okay. Let's see the content. Gimme the content, Stanley. All right. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Oh! I can jump now. Now we just jump a whole bunch. Oh yeah, this is exciting stuff. I didn't do anything.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
Just a warehouse with a jumping circle. No, not another elevator.
Goodness, another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive.
Yeah.
It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
I just want a way out of this place.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar.
Yeah,
And
how
don't get
dare
me
they?
started
How
on the
dare
level of
they?
craftsmanship
All right?
that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
I say that's lame. I don't know. Having not played it before, I don't know. Oh, this is different. Narrator, where are you?
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
I mean, that does look pretty fun, but...
Oh, you don't want to see the cool surprise I made for you? Well, fine. You're a dork anyway, so who cares?
What? What? But is it cool? Like, this is the hard part about this game. Is like, I'm like, will I be able to come back here? No, I'm gonna go through the vent, guys. Everything else looks the same. We go back. It's gone. I lost my chance.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop
I
by
should
the
have gone
employee
through the
lounge
vent.
first, just to admire it. And here it was, the lounge. What a room, Stanley thought to himself. What a room, what a room, what a room. This is what Stanley thought. What a room. What a room, what a room. What a room. Va-va-voom. What a room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Okay.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
This is new. This is new.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar.
Oh boy.
Repeating. No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all.
This is weird.
And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up.
What?
How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question
What
of
is
them all
happening?
entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange.
So weird.
I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control. That this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of the world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over.
What a weird...
Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine.
It's like trying to figure out what... There's like a noise coming off to the side. It's my cat.
Okay.
While Stanley has an existential crisis. Okay, what is happening here? Nope, I'm still here.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I?
Alrighty.
And everything went black.
What just happened?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't.
Wow, that's
It was comforting
dark.
to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
What just happened? What is happening right now? This game's so weird. Oh! Oh?
Psst. Stanley!
All right.
Come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
right, we're going in the vent. Nice. I'm glad I got to do the vent. I want to find a good ending for Stanley. So far, all of these endings have been kind of dark.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well,
Yeah.
it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
Oh, cool. I was the imposter. Yeah, I saw him vent. He's definitely the imposter. Okay. What is this?
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
That's funny. Do you remember when he had to look at a fern? And he's like, that's going to be important later in the story.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap Nintendo Switch port? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Sullied with this cheap Nintendo Switch port. The British Academy Film and Television Arts. Smile because it happened. Yeah, it's $1. It's impossible to get this achievement. Don't play for 5 years. Was that a real achievement? Is that a real achievement? The new donk times. That's pretty good. That's pretty funny. Hey, that just happened to me. First time. In loving memory of Stanley. What is that?
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? every game
Yes.
ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was.
Was it?
It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3. It was all of them. And now, it's nothing.
Can they just
It's no
throw
games at
other
all.
games' names in
It
here
isn't
like
even
this?
the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
This is really funny. The original remake. Person of the Year. Doesn't it seem like there should be something down there?
Here's another moving passage. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the Nintendo Switch. Boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise.
They just drop it. The serious room. Yeah, I can't actually go that way.
These were simpler times, Stanley. What I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no, oh God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in years.
Pressurized
I can't even
Gas.
imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Oh boy, we're about to read some 1-star reviews, guys. 1-star reviews from Steam. Oh no.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
I do like... Wow, where am I? I'm in some, like, weird apocalypse here.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
Oh. Do you think those are real reviews? They probably are.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
You just raised a building from the ocean. Alrighty.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a... Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games.
Interesting.
Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto.
Alrighty, let's skip it.
Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof.
I want to hear the dialogue, but I mean,
I can't wait
it seems like it's probably just going to keep going.
This, and whether they'll edit the rating of their pressurized gas review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on how exactly pressurized gas works. Perhaps that would have been a smart thing to check on before I went on about this whole exercise of making the skip button.
Yeah, that probably would have been.
I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is who runs pressurized gas will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review merely because of this very situation.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that's quite likely.
Let's call.
Perhaps they'll simply grant this
up
particular user the ability to change their review.
Gabe Newell
so
right
that
now.
The feature is not widely abused. Look, I would even be okay with pressurized gas altering this particular review so that it reads as something more benefit. From the ashes of depravity rises the phoenix of quality. How else to describe the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe? Such a revolutionary step forward in the lineage.
Okay, I tried.
Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again.
All right.
Skip button
You've given me a choice.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer. And my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times. And there's no door, Stanley. There's no door.
Then we push the button.
Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh my goodness, I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with.
What?
And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because... Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time, I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with,
just let me out.
Regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities.
I'm stuck in here. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. He's gone. But the button is still pressable. What do I do? Do I just keep pushing it?
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world.
Whoever wrote
As though there were no consequences
this dialogue
for a lack
is
of
fantastic.
cohesion in one's
They did a great
assessment
job.
of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone will say, oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze Stanley in place while the narrator sits there forever and ever. We want all of this in the new Stanley parable. We demand it. And then, because it was said, because it was spoken, now it simply has to happen. The most immediate desires, every single thing demanded by every person at every moment in time. If someone wants it, then it's a crime not to bring it into being. Have we been given to indulging every fleeting whim for no reason other than to... The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
This is creepy.
Is never the end, 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 is never the end.
Please let me out of this room. Why did you make this skip button? Why? We're getting somewhere. Maybe. Yo, Octorock, welcome. I am. I don't like this room. Just let me out. Just let me out. It's so creepy in here. It's got scary music and stuff. Huh. Okay. So, Octorok, you just got here. For those that got here in the middle of this, as part of the deluxe edition, they added a skip button, so we didn't have to listen to the narrator talk. He was like, "Yeah, I'll add a skip button in," but it started skipping larger and larger gaps of time, and we were just stuck in that room, hitting the button. And now it is a wasteland. What is happening? Is that the end? Where are we going? What's going on?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
What?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, we're back at the very beginning. New content. Okay, well.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Okay. So apparently I started on the deluxe content. I don't know what was part of the base and what's part of the deluxe, but once it started mentioning the deluxe content, I assumed that was part of this. Okay.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley parable and
Okay.
about how roundly disappointing this Ultra Deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this Ultra Deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Wait, was this actually a sequel?
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions.
What is happening?
This is what fans have truly been asking for.
I do. Yeah, they updated the computers, you know?
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
True, that's true. This went... It's very Portal 2 sense of humor, but like way more fourth wall breaking. Like I mean, we've just shattered it. They're back. 2 doors. 2 doors. I do like the new modern office. That's cool.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Yeah, okay. New features. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. Reassurance bucket. Merch. I saw the new content. Please, no screenshots. I mean, I think I gotta do the button that says the name of the player that's playing the game. Yeah, let's try it. Hear your name in the game. I love how huge all of this signage is. Epilogue. I want to see all this stuff.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Too big, too small, just right. All right, let's try it.
Jim. Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim.
Ah,
But
okay.
of course, in the final game, this button will say your name.
What if my name
whatever
was
name
Jim?
that is. Here, let's have you role play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play
Right.
along. I promise you'll love it.
Okay.
Here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and... Jim. Whoa, hold on. I wasn't finished setting up the backstory. If you
sorry.
don't properly roleplay as Jim, then you'll never understand the impact of this button. Otherwise, it's just a stupid button that says somebody else's name. Okay, we're doing it again, and this time let me finish first. Now, allow yourself to become Jim. Jim. All right, fine, whatever. It's just a meaningless button that says Jim. Are you happy now?
Yes.
Get out of here. I'm done with this button. Why don't you go humiliate me in front of a different feature that I worked very hard on?
We opened the doors. Okay, well. Well, that was something.
Maybe I'll only let people named Jim play the Stanley Parable 2. They would appreciate what I've created here. An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it would go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Free new plus easy achievement. Get it here. Oh, sweet. Settings world champion, infinite hole, or free achievement. There's too many choices. take a screenshot and see what happens. Yeah, when I see another screenshot sign, I'll try. I'll try it. Okay, well, that was nothing. Free achievement. Get yours right now. Pull the lever. Receive your new achievement. No more steps. It just works. Get yours right now.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
That's that. That's it, huh? Okay. All right.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet? You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's a... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle? Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
You are here. What else do we got? Office decorations. Merch. Oh yeah, the reassurance bucket. Forgot about the reassurance bucket. What's in here? Office decorations. Please no screenshots. Whoops. Wrong button. We'll go back there in just a sec.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley,
wow.
Anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be?
Oh,
Yes,
gosh.
the bucket is the perfect solution.
There's some language here. Which is weird because I thought that this was rated E10.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Wow. I get to bring the bucket with me. All right, let's go.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already. Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons, but I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Yeah, I feel very comforted. Way less confused. Oh. Oh, I didn't see it. Was this here this whole time? Get well someday or happy 12th birthday, Stepnies. Which button should we pick here? Let's see. Do we got a decent amount of people in chat. We'll do a poll. Which button? Get well someday or happy 12th birthday? What do you guys think? What should we pick? I don't know how many people are watching versus lurking. I know a lot of people were like lurking because they don't want the game spoiled for them. Understandable. I was playing this way longer than I intended to play it. It's just so fun. Looks like it's going to be Get Well Someday. I don't know. The timer's going for a little bit longer. So we'll just run around with our bucket. That's just such a funny thing to get a balloon for. Get well someday. All right.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along.
You
Happy 12th
dirtbag.
Stepniece it is. Well, actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Wow, what a monster. But to be fair, I did that to him the entire game so far. That's new. That is pretty hilarious. Alrighty, so we have an infinite hole.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Really? Infinite hole. I mean, there's no other way out of this room, so I guess we're gonna go down the infinite hole.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward. Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
I kind of want to see how far we can go, though.
Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole.
Oh, no.
Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole.
Oh, no.
I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is.
Oh, no.
Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition
Oh, no.
of infinity. From
We're
one
gonna-
perspective, The infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly?
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Works for you?
Yeah.
Then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole, and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're
Have a good time recording your pod. Thanks for stopping by, Octorock. Adam, appreciate it. I can't believe I'm just carrying this bucket around still. Not entirely infinite. The almost infinite hole. Mostly infinite.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for this. Oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole. I didn't think it was
What's
that
happening?
not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above.
Oh, you know I'm jumping down this
Had
again.
enough? I'm positively thrilled.
Nope.
I really do have... Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing that... Wow. Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite.
Interesting.
I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability in marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter.
All right.
Well, there it is. The shame of my lie has come to haunt me. Not only is the hole not infinite, but it's barely even a hole. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on. Is the,
It's
teleport
not working.
button not working?
Yeah, it's not working.
You sure?
Yep.
Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again. Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
What? The hole. The hole is alive. Wow, this is so intense all of a sudden. We done it. We fixed the hole. Change my perspective. What? Oh, yeah. I didn't realize Stanley was, like, so weirdly realistic looking. Like, he looks like... Change your perception? This... Change your reality? Oh, yeah, it's brown. Let's go. Change yourself. This is great. I'm having this is really fun. This is a fun game, just pushing these buttons. Oh gosh. What is happening now?
Stanley? Stanley? Stanley! Oh good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there. Drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley. Because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole?
That makes me sad. That
From
was
the
all a
looks of
dream.
things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole. And I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodle-pip.
Oh, what? I really liked. Yeah, that was a good ending finally. But then they ruined it. They woke me up. All right, so we've tried. We've got the bucket still. Gosh, tear in my eye there, stinging. Collect them all. Can you find them?
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them.
Nice.
I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
What is this? That is horrifying. With my bucket.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Yo, Hambone. Welcome, welcome. I supposed to go next? Do I now need to go, like, look for those? Find all of them? Exit. Haven't done everything in here yet. You know, the infinite hole was pretty great. That's been my favorite part of the game so far. We're going into this room that says that's new. Oh no, it's just the epilogue from the back. I should have known because I came through that door. And up there was the settings world champion, which was closed. Alrighty, I guess we go to the exit now. We've done everything else. Yeah, thanks. I like this bucket. It's the bucket of reassurance, and it makes you feel less confused by just holding it. And I think it works pretty good, actually. It's great
All right.
game
Have
design.
you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Yeah, I guess so. No screenshots. Haha.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. So, let's do an experiment.
Okay.
I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here
Yeah,
it
I'm
is.
ready.
I give you the Stanley Parable 2. I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it.
Uh-oh.
I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising
Is this about to turn into the Stanley
"This
Parable
is
Deluxe?
the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh, okay.
Let me see if I can whip something up.
Okay.
Perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Do we keep the bucket? Don't play the Stanley Parable for 10 years. Alrighty, well, I guess we're starting the Stanley Parable 2 now. That's That's the next.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 4.
It's the same intro cutscene. There's balloons now.
427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor at his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long.
Door 430.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement?
Yes.
Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times.
All right, let's do it.
I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
I'm a button masher.
I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly.
What?
50 clicks.
Oh, we're mashing.
No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost.
How many clicks?
Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
Into 417? How do I get to door 417? These balloons. And it's not even the ones we picked. That's the funny part. There it is.
Stanley felt the bucket calling to him, begging him to pick it up. Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
Oh, man, I don't remember where that is. Okay.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so. Now, back to door number 437.
All right, we're going back. Wait. Okay.
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine? All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
This is ridiculous.
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk. Yes! This is great! You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416. We've almost got it! Now the copy machine, do that one again!
We're just running back and forth in these, like, same 3 rooms. We're gonna do it, though.
Finish it off, Stanley! 5 clicks on door 430! Yes! We did it! Oh, wow.
We got the achievement!
Amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes,
Nothing.
I'm very proud of how far we've come today. Just think, only a few minutes ago, you believed an achievement was worth 5 little clicks. Really now, what were you thinking?
Well, we did it. Oh,
Stanley picked up the bucket.
the bucket is here.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Oh, you know we not go into the door on the left. I don't think I've ever gone in that door, actually. We've only gone through the right. I guess we'll continue to do so with the bucket.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Yep. Here we go.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
Okay, well, yeah, we did it. We're on the right.
No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
I mean, I've done those paths already, though. I guess I didn't do the one.
And so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Is everything different now that I have the bucket?
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Ah.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well
You're not
done.
going to get anything.
You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
I'm enjoying it. This is different.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, if not for the soothing presence of the bucket.
Good thing I've got the bucket.
In his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would. And he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845. Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
8.
Ha ha! Ha ha! I saw that in the achievement list. I figured that was it. The sequel is now paused. I'm glad that they let me know where I was. Dude, I'm getting all the achievements now. Look at that. Look at all these achievements. Play the Stanley Parable for the entire duration of a Tuesday? What? What? I don't even remember what this was. All right, you gotta go. We'll go over there. What was this at? 80. I'm just getting the click all the buttons achievement real quick. Oh no, there's too many.
Two, 8, 4, 5. But
Got it.
Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
Yeah.
Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
What is happening?
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-Stans? Stanley figs? Or what about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that.
Stanlerines?
Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Oh boy. Here we go. We got the bucket. We're going down the elevator. Loading, 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 loading.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine. Wait, Stanley said to the bucket. Can we go back up? When I was pressing those keypad buttons, there was something very intriguing about the number 3. I want to go back so I can try pressing the number 3 again. The bucket said nothing.
Gotta go push that number 3.
Here we are, said Stanley. Now I'm going to try out that number 3 button. He took the bucket over to the keypad and began absolutely slamming on the number 3 over and over and over. Wow, he said. The number 3 is such a special button. I'm having the time of my life. Stanley looked expectantly at the bucket, but the bucket remained silent. This was a shock to Stanley, who had always felt such a connection with the bucket. How was this not as exciting to the bucket as it was to him? Once Stanley had had enough of the number 3, he got back in the elevator.
Huh, well, I guess that's it. I thought that would do something. Back down the elevator I go. Great that they put that
Perhaps
whole...
the bucket had missed something.
Perhaps it had not seen how much joy Stanley got from slamming the number 3 repeatedly.
Perhaps.
No, said Stanley to the bucket. You can't go on yet. Not till you understand how much the number 3 means to me. You and I have been through so much together, and I just want you to see what I see. Feel the happiness I feel. He smiled at the bucket, and the bucket said nothing.
Why is Stanley insane? Why does the narrator make Stanley crazy? I can't go down until I go push the number 3 again.
Here we go, said Stanley. This time I'll really show you. He ran to the number 3 and began to wail on it like a musician on a beloved instrument, weaving a concerto of truth and passion.
It's true.
He wielded the number 3 like a fine artist would wield a paintbrush.
Wow.
He told stories through
I mean, this is like the craziest I've ever felt about the number 3. You know, I feel such a connection.
For a reaction of some kind.
3.
Anything to
Pick
let him
number
know
3, me
that
lord.
The bucket appreciated what he was doing. The bucket conveyed absolutely nothing at all.
Yeah, because it's a bucket.
Only silence.
It's a bucket.
Crushed by a wave of dejection, Stanley returned to the elevator.
I wonder
Stanley
how long.
and the bucket was so close. They'd always been there for one another. Why suddenly could the bucket not connect with this passion of Stanley's? The question caused Stanley to ruminate the whole way down the elevator. He knew that there must be a way to get through to the bucket, to communicate fully with his dear friend. Surely there was a solution, mustn't there be?
This is like so Portal 2 right now. Portal and Portal 2. The friend cube. You're like, yeah, just putting all... We're gonna try it again. I'm curious if this will actually lead to anything, or if I'm just going in circles.
Said Stanley. I know what to do. I know how to fully express this feeling in my heart.
Okay.
He decided right then and there that he would hold a press conference where he would speak to the public on all matters relating to pressing the number 3 over and over. He would elaborate fully on what the number 3 meant to him and why he felt so alive when pressing it. Then the bucket would be able to see his joy through the eyes of others. It would get to see the world react to this discovery of Stanley's. And it would be through the public eye that the bucket would finally understand Stanley's work.
This is different.
For months, he advertised and marketed his press conference, building excitement around it, developing and rehearsing it, until it couldn't be refined a single measure further. When the big day arrived, Stanley was as prepared as he'd ever been for anything in his life.
The guy who went to Mars. How we did it. The pyramids. All right. We're going to go give a presentation about pressing the number 3, apparently. An evening with world peace, baby. Okay.
This was it. One last chance to win the bucket over. One opportunity to share a true connection with a loved one.
Congratulations, Stanley. Remember where you came from. Your co-workers. The dude who came up with pizza. There's so many influential people.
There was no one here. Nobody had come to the press conference to hear Stanley speak, to listen to him talk about what it really means to press the number 3 on a keypad over and over. He was unloved, uninteresting.
Wow.
He was a failure. And in that moment, Stanley knew that the bucket would never again take him seriously. There would be no connection, no deeper understanding. The bucket merely sat there in his arms, indifferent. And so it began that slowly, over many years, the two of them grew more and more distant. They spoke less and less, neither wishing to state the obvious, that any sense of real respect between them had eroded since that day at the press conference. There would be no more games, no more long conversations about passion and pursuit, only a silence that consumed the space between friends.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And Stanley, having for once in his life discovered the warmth and comfort of true companionship, was cast back into the unremarkable normalcy of loneliness.
Why can't I get, like, even a remotely good ending? The best ending was the infinite hole. That was the best ending.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
So I'm gonna
This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
check.
But Stanley had felt
Check
the
one of
bucket
the-
calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift. Good,
Said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Yeah, sure.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone.
Whoa, hold on. Why did you unplug the phone? Were you trying to resist the bucket's orders? Stanley, I was joking.
Oh.
Obviously, the bucket isn't talking to you and telling you to do things. Buckets can't talk. It was a joke. Don't you get the joke? It's funny, Stanley. A talking
It's a
bucket.
talking bucket. That's
Ah.
oh.
Don't you see?
Yep, I get it.
Goodness.
That's such a
I
good
must have
joke.
really bungled up the delivery if you actually took me seriously. Where did I mess up the joke? Should I have paused for longer or spoken quicker? Comedic timing is so difficult. I wish I were better at it. But there isn't exactly an instructional video on comedy that one can watch to fully... Oh, wait, yes, there is. It's sitting right here. Let's take a look.
What is comedic timing? What is comedic timing? How does it work? How long should it last? How can it be used to effectively silence your political enemies? And more importantly, can it be taught in its entirety within 90 seconds? Thankfully, the answer to all of these questions is yes. Let's dive deeper.
All right.
If you've ever told a joke or made someone laugh, in all likelihood, you did it while standing 50 to 80 centimeters from them in a room of no more than 76 degrees Fahrenheit, with one of your arms raised straight upward at a 15-degree angle from your body. These are the optimal conditions for good comedic timing.
Hey.
To begin the joke, start by stating and spelling your name. Next, provide a brief synopsis of the joke, including the specific times at which the recipient of the joke will laugh, and then spell out your name a second time. With these steps complete, it's time to begin the humor.
I don't even know
The
what's
entire
happening
joke
now.
In no more than 18 seconds and no less than 13 and a half, pausing only for bathroom breaks when necessary. When the joke has concluded, it is customary to inform your listener that the joke is over by declaring in your loudest possible voice, "I'm Dunny with the funny." Let's practice screaming, "I'm Dunny with the funny."
I'm
now.
Dunny with the funny. I'm Dunny with the funny. Are they Dunny with the funny of this video? Is that the end?
Good. This
Oh,
saying
no.
is a perfect example of expectations management, which is the cornerstone of good comedy. Finally, it's time to hand out surveys. Collecting hard data from your audience on how rapt they were throughout the joke is the only way to grow or learn as a comedian.
I feel like I'm learning so
An
much
effective survey
for my
should be no less
podcast.
than 10 pages long and should include the same question reprinted several times.
Oh.
Just to ensure the survey taker is actually paying attention and not simply filling in answers at random. And that's all there is. With these strategies at your disposal, you'll have audiences doubled over in laughter and even tripled over in laughter in no time at all. Just remember to let them stop laughing at some point, you gut-busting little scamp. After all, we're each of us needed on the front lines of the war to fight the 12-legged invader who threaten our very existence, and who very likely die in a hailstorm of bullets and mandibles. All of us must be prepared to give our lives to this noble cause, just as our children must do after us, and their children after them.
What is happening?
Godspeed, and may Earth reign supreme.
Hey, goodness, this video is a little outdated, isn't it? Well, no matter. I think the fundamentals of proper comedic timing are still as relevant today as they were back then. So with that in mind, I believe the only way forward is for us to return to the two doors and walk through all of this again, so I can try telling my story with more appropriate comedic delivery. Come along, let's head back.
Okay, so it's very similar to the other ending I got.
I can feel it.
Where I did this
time,
without the bucket.
I'm really going to nail the delivery. You'll be in stitches. A talking bucket, you'll say? How ridiculous. How absurd. What a hilarious concept. The king of comedy. That's what you'll call me. Thank goodness we had the instructional video. Otherwise, who knows where we'd be right now. Well, I wouldn't be the king of comedy, that's for sure. The bucket spoke to Stanley.
The bucket spoke.
The bucket spoke. Oh, I'll figure it out on the fly. No need to overthink things.
Yeah, I should do jump off the bridge, but I can't with in this ending. All right. All right. If I unplug the phone, he puts up a gate, so I can't jump off.
Here we go. You ready?
Yep.
When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left. What? We're back at the phone already? No. What's going on? There was supposed to be several rooms leading up to this. There was supposed to be a build-up to this point, a dramatic display of remarkable comedic wit which culminates in this scene with the phone. But now the timing's completely off. The joke will never land. Well, not the way it was meant to. And it's all my fault. I must have forgotten that the phone room comes immediately after the two doors room.
Oh.
What an egregious mistake. I've made a fool of myself. I don't deserve the title of King of Comedy. I'm nothing. I'm not even the lowliest joke-telling whelp.
Wow.
I think I need to go back and rewatch that instructional video again. Yes, surely that will help me improve my...
I'm stuck. What? I can't plug back in the phone. Ah! I'm really trapped. Go hide in the corner with my bucket. There's no way that, like, I can't do anything. That's never happened. Is this a stopping point, you guys think? Probably should. I'm going to call this a stopping point. What a weird anticlimactic ending to the stream, but it was an ending. I don't think this game ever actually ends. It's kind of what I'm starting to think is the premise here. And here I thought. Recommendations from the Oversight Committee. I don't know if you just got here, Fairbear. I apologize if so. Cause yeah, I think that's where I'm gonna call it. We'll just sit right here. I will. That is unfortunate. Hold on, just a sec here. All right. This game was very funny and very confusing. Oh, goodness. So, my favorite parts of the game. And maybe. I haven't tried staring at any of the clocks. So, my favorite parts of the game so far have been when I fell down the infinite hole and then it started getting all weird and I could like change how my character looked and change the music and do all this stuff. And it was like, it was just so funny. And then the narrator woke me up, and I was dreaming. I was sitting in a shallow hole. And then the other part that I thought was really funny was when he gave up. He didn't want me to play this game anymore, and he put me into Rocket League. I thought that was very funny. until I fell. I wonder if there was like another way out of that. I don't even remember which path that was. Was that the confusion ending? I don't remember. There's so many like different endings, and then it resets back into the loop. I wonder if there's a way to beat it. I don't know. But this has been super fun. So let's see if we can't find a spot to send a raid. It looks like our buddy Seth is streaming, so we'll send a raid his way. Oh, this is some intense music, though. Seriously, nothing is happening. I've been sitting in this room this whole time we've been talking. There's no way out of here. That's so weird. I have not had that happen. But you can reset at any time. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for coming and hanging out. Appreciate y'all being here. Definitely check this game out. It came out on Switch today. It is $25 in the eShop, and I recommend it. It was pretty funny. It's this weird back and forth of like it being kind of creepy and weird, and then like certain weird things happen, but then it's very funny. So it's kind of like this. It's just a weird. Yeah, surreal is probably the best way to describe it. That's a good way, Tom Kuba. It definitely feels like you're playing like a dream sequence or something. But then it just gets dark at spots. That spot where I had to jump off multiple times and die to progress, that was weird. That was very weird. Didn't like that. That was my least favorite part, probably. All right, everybody. We're going to raid now. So have a great rest of your night. I'll be back tomorrow with Bug Snacks. See ya.